Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my clean and fresh fragrances that evoke the color white. I do have a top 10 and one honorable mention, and again, these are just fragrances that while I'll wear them whenever, not just when I'm wearing white, they evoke the color white. So I'll go over scenarios and where my daydream mind goes when I smell some of these fragrances. But let's go ahead and get into the video. First up is my honorable mention, and that is Pure Extreme by AMBRE. This is a beautiful, clean, musky, white floral linen scent. The only reason why I am letting this one go is because the gardenia in this fragrance gives me a headache. Gardenia is a note that I have in a lot of my other fragrances, but it's got to be blended very well for me to be able to get past it. But the gardenia in this scent is very prominent. This is so pretty. This, to me, you get gardenia, you get white florals, it's musky, and then the linen scent in here isn't like that strong detergent. It's more of after you're drying clothes. If you've ever walked outside and you kind of smell like someone is drying their clothes, that's what this, like, it has that scent in here. And then it evokes that kind of old school, you're hanging all your white linens outside to dry. That's the imagery that it evokes in my head, because that's where my mind goes with a lot of things, and fragrance does that to me. So when I smell this, that's what I'm reminded of. So again, that is Pure Extreme by Nico. And then I have another honorable mention because I've been filming this video for the last month and there's always something that happens. So I did recently receive a fragrance, Kayali the Wedding Silk Santal. When I think of this fragrance, I think of Mona and her marketing and just her in that beautiful white dress. I do think it's one that I would suggest to a bride who maybe wants something lighter, a little bit more intimate, something that her and her new husband will smell, because I do find this one to sit a little bit closer, and while it does leave a scent trail, it really is in the beginning of the fragrance. So maybe if you pop this on before you walk down the aisle, it is a lighter fragrance in my opinion. But to me, this does evoke the color white just because of the marketing behind it. So it does evoke that imagery, but this is more of an honorable mention. The next one I'm gonna go over, to me, is more of a bridal scent, and that is Kayali's Deja Vu White Flower. This is definitely more of a floral, fruity fragrance to my nose. It is fruity with the nectarine, and it is juicy and warm. It's just, to me, a little bit louder. It's gonna be a little bit more present. So this is actually the one that I would recommend for a bride. When I think of this one, it evokes the kind of florals that the bride has in hand. So again, that's Kayali's Deja Vu White Flower. Okay, the next, I'm gonna talk about this one. It's the one scent in here that evokes the color white, but more so off-white. I know that sounds weird. So this is gonna be the most off-white color that I'm gonna talk about, but that is Narciso Rodriguez, the Eau de Parfum. And this is another clean, musky scent. This also has gardenia, but it's very blended in here. I believe there's also rose in this one. And even if there's other florals in Pure Extreme, it's the gardenia that I get in this one. This is just more of a blended, like, white floral scent. It's woody, it's creamy. There's something in here that makes this scent slightly creamy and powdery, but the powdery it leans more on a very fine milled, creamy, powdery side. This to me is almost like a bridal scent, but I think of a bride wearing like an off-white vintage dress. Now this doesn't smell vintage, it does smell a little mature, but it just gives me that kind of like you're wearing your mom's pearls and you're wearing maybe her old wedding dress, simple with like lace. What this scent reminds me of, I almost see a woman, a brunette specifically, with like wavy hair and in a beautiful kind of off-white creamy satin lace dress with beading. That's where my overly daydreaming Pisces mind goes when I think of Narciso Rodriguez, the Eau de Parfum. We have Jasmine's Marzipan, and this to me is a bridal scent. So when I think of this one, I think of a modern day bride in a beautiful fluffy wedding dress. It's very jasmine forward, it's very clean, it's nutty, it's got this nice touch of sweetness, not overly sweet, but this is a very straightforward jasmine scent, but done very beautifully, very expensive smelling. This is one that will also last you your entire wedding day. This is a beast of a fragrance. I mean, I've worn this one numerous times and there's not even a dent. I can't spray this one heavy, kind of like Oud Bouquet. They're very beast mode fragrances, so it's one that I have gotten compliments because people can smell it, and it has a very strong sillage. So again, that is Jasmine's Marzipan by Maison Lancôme. Okay, another kind of clean or white floral fragrance, but whereas Jasmine's Marzipan is a jasmine scent, this one is definitely more tuberose forward, and that is Prada La Femme. Now I do think that this one has other floral notes, but what jumps out to me is the tuberose in this one. And then this one also has a beeswax note, which makes it very interesting. Like the sweetness in here isn't your typical vanilla sweet that's in a lot of fragrances. It is a very unique kind of sweetened scent, but it's also clean and slightly soapy. It's got the tuberose. There is, I believe, frangipani. So I don't know if the waxiness is from that or if it's coming from the beeswax, but there is something slightly waxy about this fragrance. I have paired this up with Charlotte from Sex and the City, and I believe the photo I picked was one with her in a white dress. This is a little bit more of like your city girl vibe, but you're clean, put together, a kind of expensive smelling city girl. So again, that is Prada La Femme. Next one doesn't necessarily, I mean, it does evoke the color white, and I think it's just the name of this, but the next one is Elizabeth Arden's White Tea. So I do think of like the white tea set, kind of your old school white teacups and teapot, but you're outside, so I also think of like the green grass. And this one is a little bit more colorful. I wouldn't say it's straight white, but because of the bottle and the name, I did want to include it in here. I mean, this is citrus, it's fresh, it's clean. The tea in here isn't strong. I've had other tea scents where it's really strong. This is more aromatic, it's fresh, spicy. I believe there's like clary sage in here. So again, there's this kind of clean vibe that I get from this one, but this one isn't overly white. When I was putting white tea in my other video, it was more about the bottle, the name that was giving me that kind of feeling of white. But when I sprayed it, I'm like, there's more colors in white tea. Like I almost envision a tea party, like your traditional tea party outside, and like a beautiful like garden. So it was a little bit more colorful to me, but Vanilla Orchid definitely evokes the color white. This one to me is more white, it's more clean. The vanilla in here kind of smooths out that greenness that I get in the original white tea. And this one, I would say, I would almost say think of like the old tea set, but maybe being all white with that kind of gold rim on the top. This one, Vanilla Orchid, gives me more of that white feeling. This one, again, it's the bottle, it's the name, but we have here Santal Blanc by Van Cleef & Arpels. And this one, while it can evoke the color white, it does have kind of this creamy, lactonic, slightly coconutty feeling to it. This one has fig, it has sandalwood. This is to me more of a cozy scent. Like I envision a night in and you have some fluffy, let's say white socks on, and maybe you're under your comforter and you're just cozied up and gonna watch a movie. That's what this evokes more to me. But there is something creamy and kind of like when you think of the flesh of a coconut, that this also evokes for me. So that's more so where I'm getting the color white. It's the inside of a coconut. Now, this isn't an overly coconut scent. The fig in here is just kind of creamy and nutty, but this is definitely one that has also given me, you know, under the sheets kind of cozy vibes. So I wanted to mention that. But the bottle and the name certainly give off that kind of white aesthetic. Okay, then next we have Powdery Coconut, formerly Floriental Coconut by Dossier. And this one is your expensive kind of suntanny fragrance, but the imagery that I've always talked about in all my videos where I talk about this one is a girl with a beautiful all white bathing suit, whether that's a one piece or a bikini, and she's got big glasses and maybe a big brim hat, and she's on an expensive boat, whether that's a ship, a yacht, I don't know what it is, but this gives me that kind of expensive suntan scent. Yeah, I don't know, I think it's the other notes, the bergamot, the cardamom that's in here. This isn't kind of your cheapy smelling, like when you put suntan oil, that there's fragrances like that are more like fun. This one's more expensive smelling. And this is an inspiration to Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc, and I think they nailed it with that white bottle and the gold. I could almost imagine the girl, she's got like a stack of gold bracelets on and big chunky gold earrings. It's just, I think that bottle is perfect. So again, that is Powdery Coconut by Dossier. All right, then next we have my scent of the day, and that is Coconut Sun by the 7 Virtues. And this one, it's amongst my top 3 coconut scents. This has quickly become a favorite of mine. I am going to be getting a larger bottle because I'm almost halfway through. But this is a clean, coconutty jasmine scent, but it isn't my typical coconutty jasmine fragrances. Like Dolce & Gabbana is the only one intense. Had like a, amongst other notes, it had a coconut jasmine and my Kayali Utopia. This is more light and airy. The jasmine in here isn't a very strong in your face kind of jasmine. It's very light. This is musky. This is coconut water. So everything in here is light, clean, and airy. If you like light scents, I noticed that a lot of coconut scents tend to get a little annoying to me. This one does not. This one is not doing too much. This is when you want to smell fresh and clean out of the shower, but you want a touch of a tropical vacation. I would say test this out. This has quickly become a favorite coconut. It's one that I could actually see myself wearing year round. I usually only wear my coconut perfumes around summertime, but this is just, again, that touch of a tropical feeling. And when I think of this, I think of coming out of the shower barefooted. You slip on one of those kind of linen dresses and you have all your windows open in your house and you have the sun coming through. That's what this reminds me of. So again, that is Coconut Sun by the 7 Virtues. Okay, then next we have BIJOU's Bal d'Afrique. And this one evokes several things. I've described kind of a contemporary but chic home, with those contemporary homes with like all the windows. Have you seen those homes in, you know, those movies where everything is like glass and just very contemporary? That's what this reminds me of. And I even think of like one of those contemporary offices where it's just this big warehouse with windows. That's what this reminds me of. And then the boss is wearing like a button-down white shirt with jeans and some like Sperry's. I've said this before in other videos. This is your clean, musky, fresh, woody fragrance. There's vetiver, I believe there's bergamot in here, and there's something a little dewy in this one too. Kind of watery. But I get more of that white contemporary feeling when I think of this one. And again, that is BIJOU's Bal d'Afrique. So where that one was casual but chic, we have sophisticated and chic. And that is Valea by Parfums de Mali. This one I have also mentioned in other videos that it evokes the color white. You're wearing a beautiful white dress, your hair slicked back, you're wearing some big hoops, got your white bag, That's what this scent reminds me of. It's not your white, like, elegant dress. This is definitely one you can dress up or down. There's just something about this scent that I've worn already several times, you know, on a casual day, but it makes me feel sophisticated and put together. Like, I wore this recently to my friend's 40th, which I got several compliments. I wore jeans and a t-shirt. So when I say these fragrances evoke the color white, I'm not saying I only wear them when I'm wearing white, but I envision kind of what I have on today. A nice white top with maybe some like wide leg pants, because right now I'm in gray jogging pants, but a white dress, a slick back ponytail, some big hoops, and some cute white sandals. That's Vallejo. You know, she's put together, clean, sophisticated, and chic. Yeah, this is citrus, this is musky. This has orange blossom, but it's not sugary sweet like it is in Ariana. This is another just clean, fresh out of the shower kind of scent. And that is Vallejo by Parfums de Mali. All right, now this one I would say is a little bit more dressed up. This is more of your elegant white dress. And that is Atelier des Ors Nuda Veritas. And I actually wore this one on my 10th anniversary where I wore a beautiful white dress. So this one definitely gives me that kind of white dress feeling. It's a little bit more, this is another citrus floral. I would say Vallejo's a little bit more citrus, whereas this one's floral with like citrus touches. This one smells expensive. This is one that whenever I wear it, Dennis always asks what I'm wearing. He really likes this one. He says it smells expensive. Nuda Veritas means the naked truth. So it just evokes that very clean, kind of bare feeling. It does remind me of the color white, but it also has that kind of bare, nude, clean, fresh out of the shower feeling, if that kind of makes sense. So this one definitely gives me that kind of vibe. And again, that's Atelier des Ors Nuda Veritas. So those are the fragrances that evoke the color white. They're clean, they're musky, a lot of them are fresh out of the shower. Many of them have key notes that to me tend to give me that, which is jasmine, gardenia, bergamot, that kind of citrus, fresh, and musk. They all give me that kind of feeling. So let me know in the comments below, do you guys have fragrances that evoke a color? I've already done red fragrances in my collection, green, white, and I know Dennis has mentioned the color purple. I probably can think of like 3 in my collection, but let me know, do you guys have any fragrances that kind of evoke the color white? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.